Here we have a book called Punctuation Takes a Vacation, and it works great as a mentor text when we talk about the 6+1 writing traits, and we're looking in particular at the writing trait of conventions. You know, how we use capitals and punctuation and commas and the like. So this is a story by Robin Pulver. We're going to take a look as we read through it for how he uses conventions. Punctuation Takes a Vacation by Robin Pulver and read by Mr. C, the teacher. And for more books like this on 6+1 writing traits, go to earlygradelessons.com. Day after day, the punctuation marks showed up in Mr. Wright's classroom. Day after day, they did their jobs. They put up with being erased and replaced and corrected and ignored and moved around. Then, on the hottest, stickiest day the class had ever seen, right in the middle of a lesson about commas, Mr. Wright mopped his forehead and said, "Let's give punctuation a vacation." As the kids cheered and headed for the playground to cool off, the punctuation marks stared at one another in disbelief. "Is this the thanks we get?" asked a question mark. "Well," huffed an exclamation mark. Now, said a comma. "We should take a vacation," said a period. "They'll soon learn how much they need us." "It's 11 now," said a colon. "Let's leave at 11:02. "Great!" said an exclamation point. "Don't leave without us," yelled the apostrophes. Whoosh! Punctuation rushed out the door. Whoosh! They rushed back in to grab the quotation marks, who were too busy talking to pay attention. When Mr. Wright's class returned from the playground, they couldn't wait to find out what happened in Chapter 4 of their book, Ace Scooper Dog Detective. Mr. Wright opened his mouth to read aloud, but then he stopped and stared. "This is weird. The punctuation is missing. Uh-oh, where could it be? Yikes, maybe punctuation took a vacation. We are in big trouble now." Mr. Wright was right. Nothing made sense without punctuation. "Do you miss us? How much? Why couldn't we take a vacation sooner? Guess who?" We flop. We plop, we stop, we stay put in our lounge chairs. We are happy thinking our complete thoughts. Thoughtfully yours, Sentence Stoppers. A couple days later, the school secretary delivered a small bundle of postcards to Mr. Wright's class. They were postmarked, "Take a Break Lake." Dear friends, swimming, sailing, sunning, soaring, water skiing. Next time you must remember bug spray, toothpaste, flashlight, water shoes. Sincerely, List Makers. Greetings to Mr. Wright's class. This postcard doesn't take the place of a letter. If anybody takes the place of a letter, that's us. It's our job. We know we're possessive, but that's the way we are. Don't forget us while we're gone. Substitutes. A big hello from Vacation Paradise, where the water is as clear as a well-punctuated sentence. We talk all day, we talk all night, too busy talking to write anymore. The Yakety Yaks. Kids, writing this on schedule at 1:15, yummy lunch at 11:55. Good swimming at 3 o'clock sharp. The Timekeepers. Wow, what a ride! You should try tubing! Scary! Fun! Yikes! Hold on. We want Mommy! Emotional us. The kids guessed who wrote the postcards, and they wanted to write back, but they couldn't write without punctuation. The best they could do was borrow some from Mr. Rongo's class next door, where punctuation seemed to be just running wild. Dear punctuation, please come back. Back. We need you. We miss you too. Life at school is difficult without You? We can't do reading, writing, or riddles without punctuation. Chapters 4 of our book, Ace Scooper, doesn't make sense. We will never take punctuation for granted again. Will you please come back before 1000 on Friday? Mr. Wright says, punctuation. Please come home. Sincerely, Mr. Wright's class. And on the envelope it says, Mr. Wright's class. Punctuation. Take a break, Lake. Urgent. Hurry. So the punctuation marks returned to Mr. Wright's classroom to do the jobs only they could do. Mr. Rongo's unruly punctuation scrambled back to their own classroom. We have so much to tell you. Who did you miss the most? It's good to be back in Mr. Wright's class! Commas, periods, exclamation points, question marks, colons, apostrophes, quotation marks. Take your places. 10 a.m. Time to study us. Hooray for punctuation. The end. Punctuation rules. Quotation marks belong at the beginning and end of words a person speaks. The question mark comes at the end of a question. Use a comma to separate each item in a series or list. A comma also separates two complete thoughts in a sentence. Use an exclamation point after a word or sentence that expresses strong feelings. An apostrophe takes the place of a letter and changes two words into one. An apostrophe is used with the letters S to show ownership or possession. The colon lets you know what time it is. It separates the big guys, hours, from the little guys, minutes. The period is the stop sign at the end of a sentence or complete thought. It is also used in abbreviations. Punctuation marks work together to make reading and writing flow smoothly. Mr. Wright said, "Thank you very much," when we gave him a t-shirt from Take a Break Lake. Did anybody find my missing flip-flop? Where could it be? That's question marks flip-flop. I don't know, it's in my suitcase. I collected shells, stones, blisters, pine cones, feathers, and bug bites. It was so fun, but I am so tired. Hey, look! Great photo of us at Take a Break Lake! Gosh, it's 2:15. Time to return to the library book I took on vacation. This photo is of me. I stopped 2 sentences from crashing into each other at the corner of Bay Street and Lake Street. Okay, well, there you go. That's Robin Pulver's book, Punctuation Takes a Vacation. And the way Mr. Pulver here uses punctuation in the book is really kind of fun. You have to get a few pages into the book before we get to this page, for example, where we've got a question mark being used when it's a question being asked by question mark, and an exclamation mark in the huffed, loud sort of well being used by exclamation mark or exclamation point. And now, comma's used in that little tiny bit of sentence there, used by comma. And then, of course, period says a nice complete sentence, complete idea. And the colons have the 11 o'clock, which needs colons in it, and 11:02, which needs colons in it. And great, with an exclamation mark, says exclamation point again. And, of course, don't leave us, yelled the apostrophes. Apostrophes get used. And then I love this part here where, of course, the punctuation has gone on vacation. It's not there. And this sentence couldn't properly be read. I mean, it's all in capitals to begin with, but there's no period, no commas, no exclamation or question marks, right? And this is weird. The punctuation is missing. Uh-oh, where could it be? Maybe punctuation took a vacation. We are in big trouble now. I mean, there's no place to stop. No place to take a breath because there's no commas or periods or punctuation. And then, of course, with the postcards, we get a postcard with lots of question marks, obviously written by question mark, and a postcard with lots of short sentences that have lots of periods in them, obviously by the period. And then we've got a sentence that has a list of things happening, swimming, sailing, sunning, soaring, water skiing, with commas all through it, so obviously written by comma. And of course, we've got quotation marks around this one here with hello and where the water is as clear as a well-punctuated sentence. We talk all day, we talk all night. I mean, that has to be the quotation marks giving that postcard. And a couple of more postcards. We've got Colin sending one here because it's got colons being used in these times. And of course, exclamation point. Wow, what a ride! You should try tubing, scary, fun, yikes, hold on! Obviously written by exclamation point because there's exclamation points all the way through it. And this one was almost really difficult to read because, of course, they're trying to use punctuation, but the punctuation is running wild because it comes from the class next door and it's not being used properly at all. I mean, trying to read this as, please come! Back we need you, we miss you, to, life at. I mean, there's not capitals here where there should be a capital, even though this isn't a sentence because it's not a complete idea. We've got exclamation marks being used where they don't need to be. We've got commas being used where they don't need to be. We've got question marks here. We can't, with a question mark, that's supposed to be an apostrophe in there, right? Just terrible writing. No colon here, so instead of saying 10, right, meaning 10 o'clock, we've just got the number 1,000, right, with an inappropriate space in there that shouldn't be quite that big. I mean, it's just terribly written and really hard to write because the exclamation is being used wrong. It's kind of a fun book to look at conventions as a 6+1 writing trait. Check it out. And if you want more books on writing traits with the 6+1 traits of writing, go to earlygradelessons.com for more.